All right, guys. So this whole vaccine mandate thing in the sports world is really blowing up. Okay, and it's not just blowing up in regards to the athletes on the field. I previously talked about what was going on inside ESPN with Miss Sage Steele and her opinions on Disney / ESPN's vaccine mandate. Now, after I did that story and talked about that, I actually have some inside information directly from ESPN about this whole Sage Steele thing that probably is kind of shocking, right? But before I get into that, I got to make it very clear, right? Disclaimer, here we come. Every time, you know you guys are getting it. I'm not making any claims about the vaccine, the virus, the pandemic, mask. I'm not making any claims whatsoever about anything. Okay, if you have any questions about the vaccine, the mask, the virus, the pandemic, if you have any questions whatsoever, please consult your doctor, right? Please consult your trusted medical professional. I'm not making any claims whatsoever. This video is purely about public policy and public policy only. So, like I was telling you guys, after I did that video yesterday on Sage Steele, I received some inside information, right, from somebody that actually works at ESPN about what's kind of going on with this Sage Steele vaccine situation, right? That apparently is a big deal because ESPN has let go of employees who, you know, have, I guess, refused to go along with the mandate, right? Even if it's for religious reasons, they just kind of let him go. Now, Sage Steele was facing this same kind of deadline, and Miss Sage Steele is known as the Candace Owens of ESPN, right, for her political views, right? So just keep that in mind. And apparently, she went on Jay Cutler's podcast a couple days ago and told him that, you know, she has some issues with it. And as far as I can tell, she got the vaccine a couple days ago, right? On the 28th is when that came out. Now, this source at ESPN told me that apparently Miss Sage Steele, again, this is alleged here, that Miss Sage Steele actually has COVID, right? She actually has COVID, according to this person, right? According to this person, right? I don't know. Now, it seems to me that she may have got what the media likes to call a breakthrough case of the virus, which means that you're vaccinated, but you ended up getting it somehow anyways. Okay, which is supposed to be rare, right? It's supposed to be rare that happens for people that are, you know, vaccinated. However, again, I'm not familiar with ESPN's policy. I'm not sure if she was required just to get, you know, one shot and then maybe get the second shot. Maybe she's not fully vaccinated. In fact, I don't know. Maybe she had it before she actually got the shot, right? And she didn't know it. Okay, maybe that's it. Again, I'm not making any claims. I'm just letting you guys know that she's very frustrated with this situation, allegedly, okay, in regards to, you know, this whole mandate, right? Now, again, you know, this is not something that mainstream media has reported yet, so maybe I'm the first person that's saying this, but this is what's happening according to this source inside ESPN, and it is creating a very divisive environment and frustrating environment inside of ESPN. A lot of it's coming from Disney, but apparently, again, this is a big deal going on inside the company. And this is basically a continuation of ESPN seemingly alienating their biggest stars. For example, you guys know what happened with Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor, both of whom I don't believe work at ESPN anymore. Right? Now, this brings me to what I actually really want to talk about in this video is the whole mandate and how divisive it's caused this country to be, right? Like, how this has become a whole political issue that I've told you guys I hate, right? I hate how politicized this whole issue has become. And I think that Draymond Green, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, he's a basketball player in the NBA, actually spoke about this issue yesterday. And I thought he really gave a nice summary of how polarizing and politicized this whole issue has become, really for no real good reason. Take a look.
That would be like me telling him, like, yo, your wife is going into labor. How dare you leave this team and not go tend to your wife for what that could mean for this team? That's something that's personal to him. That's health related. That's, you know, something that's personal to his family. This is no different. This is, we're dealing with something that to me feels like has turned into a political war. When you're talking about a vaccination and non-vaccinated, I think it's become very political. And, for someone who's not extremely into politics, when you make something so political and not everyone is into politics, then you can also turn those people off, and, I think there is something to be said for people's concern about something that's being pressed so hard. Like, why are you pressing this so hard? Like, so much, you're just pressing and pressing and pressing. I think you have to honor people's feelings and their own personal beliefs. And I think that's been lost when it comes to vaccinated and non-vaccinated. And it kind of sucks that that's been lost because you're essentially not giving anyone, you say we live in a land of the free. Well, you're not giving anyone freedom because you're making people do something essentially without necessarily making them, you're making them do something. And that goes against everything that America stands for or supposedly stands for. And so I don't think, I know I'm not in any position to go tell him what he should or should not be doing. And as a leader of this team, I'm not going to go to him and say, hey, man, we really need, no, the hell, you do what you feel you want to do. That has nothing. I'm not going to go and ask him, did he get a polio vaccine? So why would I go ask him if he got a COVID vaccine?
I mean, couldn't have said it better myself, right? Is this not kind of what I've been saying, the same arguments that I've been making about this whole thing? Right, in regards to how, first of all, it's nobody else's business what your status is, right? It's nobody else's business what your status is, okay? In terms of, being vaccinated and whatnot, like, listen, it is what it is, right? And I just find it amazing how these NBA players have kind of taken this stance that is against what the left-wing narrative is in regards to these mandates, especially considering how, again, a lot of these same people were all on board with what the left wanted all last year, right? All last year. But now when it comes to this issue right here, right, an issue that a lot of these players are finding to be a lot more personal, right, to them, now it's more of a choice stance, right? And it's really a shame that the stance of choice has been framed as, well, you're anti-vaxxer, especially considering how, you had Democrats and mainstream media, talking heads, liberals like Joy Reid and Don Lemon just flat out discouraging people from taking a vaccine because it was developed under Trump, right? That's what they were saying, right? Wrongfully so, right, at the time, okay? And again, I just find it funny how that's how things are kind of shaping up and working, right? But what he's saying about this being so political, again, it's just so true. It's so true, right? It's overly political, and it's really political for no reason, right? It's dividing our society and segregating us and tearing us apart. While, the politicians continue to do what they always do, which is to divide and conquer, right? Divide and accumulate more power, okay? While we sit and we fight with each other over who's vaccinated, who's not vaccinated. And it really doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't make sense because everybody has their own choices, right? Their own decisions in regards to, their health. But for whatever reason, this has caused people to lose their families over, right? This has caused people to lose their friends. This has caused people to lose their livelihoods, their jobs, like all of that. Right. And it's really a shame that this is where we're headed. Right. This is not what America's supposed to be about. Right. Ultimately, which is what Draymond Green was saying. OK, America's supposed to be about freedom. Right. Freedom of choice. OK, and what is happening in regards to the divisiveness and, this government overreach is anti-American. Right. It's anti-American. And again, while all this is happening, the politicians and the elites, they're profiting off of it. Right. They're grabbing more power. They're making more money off of it, right? And then they have the mainstream liberal media go out there and continue to ratchet it up, right? To continue to call for, certain people in our society to be segregated simply because of the choices that they make in regards to their health. It's really kind of crazy, man. And, I really appreciate Draymond Green for saying this, because he really articulated this point perfectly, similar to, Jonathan Isaac and him articulating his opinions, right, regarding this issue. So wouldn't be surprised to see the mainstream liberal media come out and call Draymond Green an anti-vaxxer, even though the dude, I believe, is vaccinated, right? So it's kind of crazy to see these NBA players speaking out. There's some issues I agree with them on. There's some issues I don't agree with them on, right? But I have no issue coming together and saying, hey, I agree with you on this issue, even if I don't necessarily agree with you on other issues. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.